Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So I wanted to do a shout out today for two people we have in my school, the school that I work in. And the reason why I'm shouting out to them is I wanted to show you what true leadership is and what it really means to be a good leader and a good manager. Now, the first person, long story, and the context of the situation and context of the conversation that we're going to have is we are currently having the Cognia accreditation visitation. So as part of the Cognia accreditation visitation, there is a lot of presentations, and yesterday was the quote-unquote leadership presentation, where it is basically the principal and the STEM coach whose name is Ahmed Samir, and the quote-unquote steering committee, which is basically the manager of the steering committee. Ahmed Samir's presentation. Now, I haven't seen any of the three presentations, but here's the thing is, words travel very fast, especially through the grapevine. And the one presentation that my manager was asked to, as the director of HR, was asked to truly go to, and out of respect for not just respect, but out of the fact that we know this presentation is going to be good, is Ahmed Samir's presentation. We know it's going to be good. Here's how Ahmed Samir talks. If you're ever going to come and work with us, and you work for Ahmed Samir, this is how Ahmed Samir talks, how Ahmed Samir presents. And if you want to know what it means to be a good manager and a good leader, Ahmed Samir is a very great example of that. And I'm going to use the word Samir from now. So Samir, the way Samir talks is, he talks in we. Even when he says I or things like that, you always have the impression that he is talking collective. He's talking about the we. It's so we did this and we did that. Even if it might be just him and another person, but he always sounds like when he's talking, you're hearing the entire team talking. Not just that, he showcases and shines people in his team. Even though if you've met him, you're intimidated within 3 seconds with this guy, because he is just knowledgeable. And he does not shy away from going okay, so this is the situation, and I have learned a lot. I've learned a lot from him, and I've learned a lot from my own manager. So my own manager is the other shout out. But here's the thing is with Ahmed Samir. Ahmed Samir does, like I said, he does this conversation where he talks in the team form. The presentation is concise, it is clear, and it is all about the team. It's all about how the team made this, and how the team made that, and how he is a true leader. There are some and then the other thing that he does, and I absolutely love it. I love it. He gives credit. If something is done by another team, he gives credit to them. He's and the definition of this one was one of the presentation was an event that my manager and him did. So he goes this event was this was done by me, and then he said, and then he calls and then he goes and Dr. Rasha, who's my manager, goes Dr. Rasha, and I'm when I heard that the room that I'm in and the room that the presentations are in are in front of each other. So when I get out, I could actually see the other presentations, or I could actually hear the other presentation, because like I said, it's on the room that is in front of me. And the conversations that are said, because a lot of people started talking about his presentation, about how it sounded like how a presentation should be done for an accreditation, how the school shines and how the school has a harmony, which is true when it comes to Samir's team. And the way Samir deals with everyone. Samir doesn't just go like, oh, you gotta do this. Oh, no. He doesn't ask that. He goes like, yeah, I understand that this is your job, and I get the point of view that that this is going to be more than I'm asking for, like something that's like. He doesn't tell you like, this is your job, you gotta do your job. No, he goes about it in a totally different way, and it makes it very hard for you to go no. You're like, okay, sure. Even if you're like way busy, you literally stop what you're doing and you're like, okay, I'll get this done for you, and you get it out of the way because Samir is the one who asked you to do it. Samir is the one who asked you to do this thing, and he does that. Like I said, he is a true leader. Now, him and, like I said, my manager, like Dr. Rasha, is the same thing. Dr. Rasha is a type of personality that if you work under her, she is wonderful. She's one of the few managers. She and Samir are... Okay, so let me reiterate this one. She and Samir are one of the only managers I've met here in Egypt that are just wonderful people. In my entire life, they're on the top 5. They're in the top 5 good managers I've met. But in Egypt, they're the definition of what actually should be managerial, what actually should be management. They're the very definition of that. I've met people who are good as that one. I'm not going to be like, oh, they're the top or they're the best. They are the best here in Egypt. My favorite manager thus far has been all, like, these are, like I said, they're the top 5. The one who taught me the most is Randa Thomas, has always been Randa Thomas. And then the one who taught me compassion was Joyce. It was during the volunteering, and just we were having a lot of volunteering like experiences, and she's the one who taught me compassion. She's the one who taught me that, yeah, you kind of have to be like sometimes you need to be the B word, but that's not always, and you gotta have like a lot of empathy and a lot of like compassion with people. Now, Dr. Rasha nailed that part. She's like, okay, it's just because I work with her in HR, and HR is it's a very tricky job. I'm not gonna tell you it's easy or it's hard. Every job has its easy part, every job has its hard part. With HR, the problem with HR is that its hard part is hard for people and easy for others, and that is when it comes to decision making regarding employees. Do you deduct, or do you like be compassionate and not do the deduction, or do you like, when do you punish, when do you like this one? Because you're always on the edge of like, if I don't do this one for these guys, then I have to do this one for these guys. If I do an exception for these guys, I have to do an exception for these guys. And sometimes the exceptions that come in, or like the stuff that you do, is a one-time thing, and it's a one-time thing because of certain circumstances that you are aware of. But the other employees who will see that, they will see that as not an exception, but like, favoritism. And let me tell you let me give you the example of favoritism, because that's also something I saw yesterday. And again, so I'm not going to talk about them, because again, this is like if I talk about the favoritism that I saw yesterday, I already saw it before at work, and I've seen it a lot in other jobs, where a particular manager with a lot of power becomes like a particular personality becomes a manager, and then boy, do they make the life below them like a living hell. Because if you're not part of the group and you're not part of their minions, you're targeted, and like some people are subtle about it, and others are very like direct of like, oh yeah, you're targeted, and you know that, and you're like sitting there and go like, you're like, come on, we're adults, stop being like petty. But it is what it is. It's just human nature, and again, this is part of human. So back again to Ahmed Samir, and back again to like Dr. Rasha. So again, Ahmed Samir does not have that. Ahmed Samir treats all of his teammates, all of the teachers under him, as their like like he's like the big brother, and he's protected, and he protects them, which is one of the most important things in management. Is you gotta hold yourself accountable. if somebody done goofed up, they done goofed up. Okay, you deal with the done goofed up, but you also take a part of it. And both him and Dr. Rasha do it, like they do it unconsciously. They don't even do it like consciously. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna protect them. No, they do it unconsciously. And I've seen it a couple of times where something will happen, and then Samir will be like, we'll sit down and he will look at like the person and will be like, I failed you. It's like, dude, no you did not. I'm like, in my head I'm going like, dude, you did not fail the guy, he's the one who failed. But then I'm like, your son, he's literally and then, like I said, the presentation yesterday with the accreditation, oh my god, was it good. And today there's also one presentation that's going to happen today that I am looking forward to, and that is our presentation, like the HR presentation that Dr. Rasha is going to make. Oh, I'm looking forward to that, because that is effort of months on months of working, and in her case, in Dr. Rasha's case, is literally years of working accumulated in like a presentation of like. And then the thing with Dr. Rasha is because of the way. Okay, so if you ever been with us, Dr. Rasha has worked since the school was literally dirt. She and Ahmed Samir. So this is whatever I talk about. Like, if I ever use the word old team, these are the people who I like literally be like this is the old team. So the old team literally was in school before there was a school. They've been through it all. They've been through like all the departments. They've been through all of the things, like especially Dr. Rasha. Dr. Rasha has been through all the departments. Samir has been like in the STEM section his entire time working here in his entire career, but Samir actually understands a little bit of the rest. But Dr. Rasha has hands-on experience. Like, she's been in this one, she's been in that one, she's been in this one, she's been in that one. She's currently herself. She's currently like the HR director, and like because she has background in the rest of the other things, if things go awry from like the different areas, she can step in and be like, hey, okay, we can do this. And it's not, again, and the funny thing is, she does it unconsciously, she does it like really subconsciously. She'll be like, she'll like hear somebody talk about something, and then because she knows the system, she knows how things work, she'll be like, oh, well, just take care of this part, you're gonna run into this problem, and just be sure to do this. And in my head going like, oh yeah, you've been through that, haven't you? Because she's been there since literally the school was dirt. And that's the difference between her, because one of the presentations yesterday was talking about how the person who was talking about how they built the school, and I'm sitting there going like, no. The people who built the school? Oh, the people who built the school are totally different than you guys, because you did not build the school. Nah. Nope, you did not. And this is the difference between a good manager and a bad manager. A good manager, actually, like I said, that Samir's presentation like that spoke about the timeline of how things were, and how the STEM improved, and how the STEM evolved, and how like it's continuously being improved. That is awesome. That is what you need to do. You need to like showcase how the department improved, how the department is. The department, yes, the department is. We can always like, as humans, we know that this department is this person. We get that. But at the same time, it's not in front of everyone. You like, let the work show itself. When you're the one who did all the job or did all the work, oh, you're going to be able to answer any question because you're the one who did it, and you're the one who's able to like to understand the like the logic behind it. Like, oh yeah, I did this thing with STEM was because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we did this because of that. Because again, you did it. But then if you haven't done it and you just stole the credit from another person and put it as yourself, when you're going to get asked the question, you're not going to be able to answer it because you didn't do the job. You don't understand the logic behind it. Sometimes the logic behind it is illogical. Sometimes you have no idea why why certain things are done the way they're done, and that's about it. And that's just how it is. And that's just basically how it is. And you gotta understand that part. You gotta understand that sometimes, again, this is the difference between a good manager and a bad manager. Good managers like Samir and Rasha, they know the stuff that they've done. They've been there, and they subconsciously help others because they understand the importance of teamwork. While other people take credit for their stuff that they didn't do, and they're just like, oh yeah, I'm done, this is stuff I've done. No, you're done. And then they put their teammates under the bus because they want to orchestrate the thing, and they're the grand maestro, and that pisses me off. It's like, don't ever do that. Don't ever put your subordinate below you and put them under the bus because you can't, like, you don't want to stand up for them. No, stand up for them. If it gets into trouble, sure thing. That's so be it. And I love one of the teachers. She stood up for another teacher. Absolutely loved it. Honestly, kudos to her. For like standing up for like another person. Because she did the one thing that she should be doing. She should be like, oh yeah, this person did this one. Yeah, this person did this. And it doesn't matter if she gets scored at or anything. And I appreciate that. Anyway, so this has been my rambling for today. And yeah.